Hello everybody. Welcome once again to a video where I do CSS battles from the past. These are from the 13th, 14th, and 15th of December 2023. Making my way. Almost half done with the backlog. Really enjoying it. Let's get to it. Okay, what's this guy? Yeah, I think this is a single element. And then I'm gonna do a sort of an odd, well, we'll see. We'll see. I think we can do. Can we do it with borders? Maybe we can do it with borders. Let's do a background that's nothing, and then border of solid pink, and then border width that is blank on the bottom, right? And then we put that border in some other way, or we put that little hook. So let's so border width 40 pixels, 40 pixels, 40 pixels, 0, like that. Okay, now let's use margins on the element itself to narrow it in. Maybe it's 550, sure, 100, 110, 112, and then make it a little taller. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, great. And then we need a border radius of, looks like it's gonna be 80 pixels, 0, 0, great. And then with a background, we can set. So in theory, we could just do 80 pixels, right? Oh, no, we can't. No, we could just do 40 pixels here, the width. And then take a chunk out of it. Let's do that, just because this is a little shorter. We don't have to do a border width. And then we make it a little less tall. Then we have to be, what, 80 less would make it 80? No, 100. Oh, no, 110. How about 120? There it is. And then we could remove it with a clip path. Maybe this is the best way to do it. Maybe this is a faster way to do it. Polygon. And it's upper corner, right corner, bottom corner, and then over, what is it, 80 pixels, 100%, and then 80 pixels, 80%, and then let's say it's 60 pixels, 80%, and then 60 pixels, 100%, and you're already seeing the effects there, and then it's 0, 100%. So that's a way to take that clip out. If I put a background on it, you can see that I think we're in the right spot. So 80% down, I think, is the correct number. Yeah. So that means it's this number that needs to get bigger. So let's make it 80% instead. How about 75%? Yeah. And then let's make this 60%. And get rid of the background. That's close. How about 50%? Right in the middle. Beautiful. Let's submit that and see if we got it. That's a nice terse solution. I was going to do that's a 100% match. I was inclined to do borders on just the top and sides, no border on the bottom. And instead, we come up with this solution, which takes a chunk out of it using the clip path polygon. So it's unit replace and minify and resubmit, and we're done with this guy. That's a fun one. fun, interesting solution, and that is a higher score than I've gotten in the past, which is great. Always fun. There are other ways to do this one. Choose your own adventure. All right, what is this guy? I feel like this is an interesting one. All right, let's do our blank template, and let's make this aspect ratio 1, and then let's rotate it. And then let's, on the body, display flex. So I actually just want to put it right in the middle and get the sizing right. And to do that, I want to do the justify content center, right? We want to center that thing vertically and horizontally. Align items, center. And so let's put the proper color on the background. And then let's put the proper, what's the proper, let's put a color on the element. Okay. So now we're looking at the diff, and we would like to see that line up perfectly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 160. And there's an aspect of this that's pretty straightforward. In theory, we could put borders on this and whatever, but I think that what we want is a, what do we want there? Let's try and tune this to, let's do a conic gradient. So what I want to see is conic gradient. And I think it's less excited about this. How about a linear gradient? Red, blue. What happens if we do that? So it's coming from the top. So this is actually the top, right? So let's do a 90. Let's do a red, blue, 0, 0, 25% width. Repeat X, hit Y. So that's how we get a column. So I kind of want to use that as the basis of this. So we do transparent, 50%, and then this color, and then this color, 0, 75%. That's the first part. And this is this just a few linear gradients? I kind of feel like this is the way to do this. Okay, the next one is going to be transparent, 25%, and then this light blue, and then we need to move that over 25%. No, 0. Oh, how about 25% instead? There we go. Oh no, that's not right. 180, 40 pixels. Oh, there's a little gap there, isn't there? That kind of sucks. All right, let's focus up. So that is to 50%, and then it's this color, 0, 75%, and transparent. So we're kind of getting it. The next one, we're going to make this width, and actually, can we do it 50%? Actually, we do it 50% there. All right, oh, because I doubled it up, and then it makes this one 75. Oh, and so 50%, and then just do 0, 0. Okay, so saying a lot of words and not explaining what I'm doing. All right, so this will explain. There it is. Okay. A little happier with that, and I think that means that I can't use, that I actually want to do the color. There's the color, and then I'm going to use the color here as well. Okay. And then for the third column, I want the purple at 20%. There it is. And then the dark color to 75%. And then I want the light blue at the tail end. Oh, and actually that's fine. Okay. And then the last one is another linear gradient. Which is that 25%. And then transparent to 75%. And then that darker blue again, 0. Is that the pieces? Let's submit that and see if we've got it. So lots of linear gradients there. Somehow I got this extra red that's not doing anything, and we're not at 100%, and so that stinks. So what can I do to change that? Oh, we've got a little haze there. That stinks. How about, what have I done wrong? How about 161, 60? Let's change that to this. Let's make our width an explicit 160 rather than that one. Let's go margin 0, 100, 110, 15, and then down 50, 60, 65. And we got some problem with the background color. Because I removed the background color. Yeah, there's some problem with that color, isn't there? Yes, problems. At least this is not the way to do this. That's the question. Okay, here's the problem. All right, those are our margins, and I think we're in the right place. I hope this is 100%. I don't have confidence that it is. Oh, sad, very frustrating. So if that's not it, what can I do? Not liking this outcome. guess this means it's time for another approach, because I think mathematically this is pretty good, but the reality is that it's not working. So let's do this. Let's make this paragraph element margin 0, and here margin 0. Width, we're gonna do 100, 200. Height 150, and I'm gonna put background in red so we can see it. Okay, and then that height, so the height is not 150, it's 300, of course. Okay, so we're gonna subdivide this guy and do this in pieces. And we're gonna make another one. Display flex. And now we've got 2. All right, and then the second one is scale -1. So that when I do conic gradient from 45 degrees, transparent, 25%, and then this light color, we should see a symmetry there. Conic gradient, like so. He count from 45 degrees, percentage, whatever. Okay, and then we can't see it because of that. That's why. Okay. Now we've got that at 50%, and then vertically 40%, something like that. And let's put a darker, one of these darker colors in the background so we can see what we're doing. There we go. All right. So that's what we've got right now. And we need that's what we need. There we go. So we're flopped on the x-axis, but not on the y-axis. That's what those -1 and 1 represent. Okay, so 5. So let's move this 45, 44, 43, 42, 43, 25. There it is. Okay, so that's our first step that I'm pretty happy with. So how do we do these shapes? Let's do a conic gradient. So this is a lot of different pieces, unfortunately, but this is the one I've chosen. All right, so how do we do these colors? How about a linear gradient coming up from the bottom right corner? So that's -45 degrees, red, transparent so we can see it. Okay. So 10%, 20, 17, 18, 19. And let's do that color. Beautiful. And let's put black in the background. Okay, so what next? I know. How can this work? It can, I think. Let's find out. All right, next let's do a conic gradient. So which of these parts do we want to do? And I'm going to put yellow, a very different color, in the background. So we can do, we want to come in from the edges. So I think probably a conic gradient for this other blue part. Conic gradient, which is going to be at 75% from 180, 225 degrees at 75%, and it's going to be this color, 25%, and then transparent. So that's that shape. And 74, 73, 72. Boom. Okay, so now we've got that. Silly though that may be. All right, and so we're really only are doing this part. So how do we get, is there something we can do to get that shape? Let's do another linear gradient, huh? We're gonna copy this guy, comma, and that color is gonna be this. Let's go to 20%. And actually we want it not to be minus 45 degrees, we want it to be that. And so that's going to be a bigger number, 50. There it is, 60. Okay, how about 58? 57. 58, 59. That could be right. All right, now can we do something? So at this point, we just have one conic gradient that we'll need at the end, I think. Let's find out if that's true. And see if this is all a bad dream. So from 45 degrees, we want this color to start with, 25%. We want this dark color, 0 for also 25%, so it'd be 0, 50%. And then we want this purple, 0, 75%. And then lastly, we want that light color, 0. And right now it's in the center, so it's so we want it to be right there. So that's 175 over, so most of the way over at like 80%, 25%. So let's move it over a little less, or a little vertically down. 3, 6, 7, and then 7, 6, 7, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. Okay, so that is awfully close. So we need to go, what, downward? Because this should be parallel with the top of this one. Okay, so down 39. 40%, 41, and then over 5, 86, 87. So close. All right, so these linear gradients, the second linear gradient coming in from 45 degrees, I think is a problem. 58, 59, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 6. Oh, that's less. 58.1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not bad. Is this all a terrible idea? Maybe. How about this bottom, this very first one that we thought we got right? 0.6, 0.7. Highly frustrating. What do we say this was? 171? Let's do 171. And then what's this? 50 pixels. 6, 7, 8, 100, 110, 25, 20. Let's submit that. We're in the ballpark, even if we're not totally right. I wish it was better. 99.8%. All right, is this one of the ones where I give up and show you an old solution? I definitely find myself surprised. This is as tricky as it is, but I definitely complain about the ovals and 45-degree angle ones a lot. All right. Okay, so if we move the center of that, which is exactly what we're moving. So actually it's this blue that we want, isn't it? So anything with the blue, 68, it's this guy. So that's, I'm just trying to inspect and look. Not getting it done. So that's another way to do this, but clearly we're not getting to 100% with the parser. All right, so we're gonna give up. Here's what I did in June. Lots of conic gradients. Well, conic gradient, it's very similar to exactly what I just did. And then a polygon, which shows you, so if I go, black here, you can see, okay, so basically I'm just narrowing that shape. All right, so no fair, giving up. This is a previously entered solution. It's got margins to put it in place. It does have a rotate. It creates this shape using cutouts and then has linear and conic gradients and all rotated. Have a look at that. I'll resubmit it for giggles, but disappointing result. Unfortunately, I was not able to do it in what I felt like was a reasonable amount of time, but I've got the capacity to do it. Disappointing. It is a complicated shape. It's a complicated shape and rotated at 45 degrees. All right, let's see if we have any better luck with this one here. Is this a 2-element guy again? I think he might be. Let's see what. Let's do half of this and then do the other half, and then we can variabilize it. Maybe that might be fun. All right. Yeah. Sorry about that. Disappointing result. All right. What have we got here? So let's make half of this. Give it a width. And then let's put that into place with margins for 3. No, that's perfect. 7, 8, 80. And then how wide? 120. Or actually, this is 4 elements. That's 1. boy, kind of like that. All right, so if we do it as 4 elements, then we need to display flex, flex wrap, wrap. We need to fix these margins too. 15. And then we're going to start with a conic gradient. Which is transparent 25%, has an inner color that we default to var color A, or color, the first color, let's call it J, or the inner color. That should be 25, sorry. 0, 50%, and then transparent again. Zero, 75%. So it's that, and then this color, and then transparent to that, and then yellow, I believe. Yeah, so yellow. And then if we create more of these, first one is flopped on the x-axis. The next one is flopped on the y-axis. And the last one is flopped on both the x and y-axis. And we can't see that yet, but we want to, we will. So that's going to be scale var dash dash x, comma, or 1, and var dash dash y, or 1. So elements with the x attribute have a -1. Don't forget your semicolons. And then y dash dash y is -1. All right, and you can't see any of that yet because we need to make the margin 0. And that is centering this guy, unfortunately. So I'm going to put a background color red so I can see these elements. Yeah, there they are. Great. And we've got a problem because they're being centered in the body, and we don't want that at all, do we? 0, 15, 0, and then 0, -10. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and then this margin needs to go get higher, get bigger. So probably need to make that like 30 or something. And make this 30. So that things, yeah, there we go. So that's the problem. And that means we don't need this last 30. Okay. So that's a bunch of parts of this. All right, and then so for the second and fourth, the colors are flopped. So if we add another attribute, C, let's say, and say for the C attribute, that color dash dash J is not the light blue but the dark blue. And there it is. You can see that. And that means that we're going to need another variable, dash dash K. And that's going to be that color. And we're just going to make sure that we set there it is. Okay, so right now we kind of have the parts. All right, so what we need instead of a default color is we need a linear gradient at 45 degrees. transparent, and that color 0, 75%, and then transparent again. And don't forget a comma, and that's that. And that color is it's K, not R. There it is. All right, let's submit and see if we got 100%. A lot of parts. I don't think I explained these very well today, and I certainly didn't do. There we go. I didn't do well on this guy at all, but this guy, not too bad. And that's with 2 gradients, a conic one to do, each broken up into 4 pieces, and then use variables to swap it so you get flopped colors, which is I like this solution. It's almost elegant, not quite elegant, but I like it. All right, so let's minify and resubmit. I don't think we've got any units to replace, but we'll try. Yeah. And then resubmit. And I guess in theory, is there a way? Is there something in common? Do we need the C attribute? Yeah, we'll leave it as is. That's a fun one. Okay, so mixed bag today. That's again the 13th, which was pretty nice. The 14th, which was not great. And then the 15th of December 2023. These daily targets. Thanks for watching. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Make something cool with HTML and CSS today. All right.